Feel the power of you controlling your breathing right now, in this moment. Here, in the present, the greatest gift you have, that we have. That power, that determination that's in you and everyone. It's the same power we use to control our minds, one thought at a time, one breath at a time. Here we are, another beautiful day in the gym of life. Life, the greatest teacher of all. And you get to learn from it every single day, every single moment. No matter how young you are, how old you are, no matter what you look like, how different you are, we are one. We are the same in one fundamental way. One truthful way. We were born to win, to be happy, to be as we were born. So let's see ourselves today. Determination, let's see ourselves determining to do our best on whatever exercises, stretches we do, the way we move our bodies today in this moment we have together. Do it to the best of our ability by simply being.
they couldn't capture that bright infinity inside your eyes. 매일 밤 내게 날아가 또 이런 것도 잊은 채 난 웃으며 너를 만나. Never ending forever baby. You are my universe and I just want to put you first. You are my universe and you make my world light up inside. 어둠이 내게 온데 변했었지. 길어진 그림자 속에서. And the thought that we can't be together because we come from different sides. You are my universe and I just want to put you first. You are my universe and you make my world light up inside. My universe, my universe. 나를 밝혀주는 건 너란 사랑으로 수놓아진 별. 내 우주에 넌 다른 세상을 만들어주는 걸. 너는 내 별이자 나의 호주니까 지금의 시련도 결국엔 잠시니까. 너는 언제까지나 지금처럼 밝게만 빛나줘. 우리는 나로 따라 이긴 밤을 수놓고 너와 함께 날아가. When I'm without you I'm crazy. 자 어서 내 손을 잡아. We are made of each other baby. You are my universe and I just want to put you first. You are my universe and you make my world light up inside. My universe, my universe, my universe.
Provincial capital to see the final of Moscow this season. Look at this from Ottawa! Are you kidding me, Bolu Tabla? What a finish that was! An overhead kick from outside the box, Jimmy. The audacity from Bolu.
Hey guys, there's an old African proverb that goes like this: if there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. And I've heard Les Brown often refer to it in his speeches, and it's stuck with me. It's become part of me. It's my daily reminder to monitor what is going on in my mind. What do I think about myself? And now I'm challenging you to ask yourself daily, what are the thoughts that are going on in your mind about yourself? What do you think about yourself? If you are happy with yourself, that's wonderful, because it's going to affect the amount of positive influence that you have around you. But if you're not happy with yourself, then how can you possibly admit and be the best part of you with others? So let's really monitor what's going on within. If we can come to peace with ourselves, then we can actually be our true great selves for everyone else. Hope this helps, everyone. Have a great day.
I'm going to spend my time really talking about, as I go toward the end of the year, how can I keep my brain as healthy as it can be? And I have a number of concepts and practices that I want to share. I'm going to try and make this really practical. And most people sort of would know it, but they don't really know it. And that is your brain. So the actual physical functioning of your brain creates your mind. So it's not the other way around. The brain is an organ, just like your heart is an organ. Yet most people who treat the brain, psychiatrists, psychologists, marriage and family counselors, addiction counselors, never look at the brain, which of course I think is insane. And so I want you to just write down while you're listening to me 3 reasons why you want or need a better brain. And top on my list is I want to make better decisions. So as a physician and a psychiatrist and a CEO of a large organization, my success with my patients, with our team members, in large part has to do with the words that come out of my mouth and the decisions that I make. But what are your 3 reasons why you want a better brain? The second principle is when your brain works right, you work right. And when your brain is troubled for whatever reason, you're much more likely to have trouble in your life. And you heard me say with a healthy brain, you're happier, you're physically healthier, you're wealthier, and you're more successful because you make better decisions. When your brain is not healthy for whatever reason, sadder, sicker, poorer, less successful. And so ultimately, the health of your brain determines the health of your relationships, the health of your bank account, the health of your business, the health of your overall success in life. And so the practice with this concept is think of 3 or 4 people in your life who you judge harshly. And then step back and ask yourself if it's possible one or more of them might have something going on with their brain. It's easy to call people bad. It's way harder to ask why. And when I first became a physician, I sort of thought free will was black or white, like you had it or you didn't. And when I started scanning people, I went, uh-oh. Free will's gray. That some people have super healthy brains. And yes, they could still choose to kill someone, or they could still choose to have an affair, or they could still choose to overspend. But those things happened way more in people who had a brain injury, or people who had some form of toxic exposure, or an infection that impacted the brain, like Lyme disease, or now we know COVID-19. And the scans really helped me have empathy. I mean, dramatically increased my empathy for people who struggle. So that's a really important principle. Number 3, and we'll see how many I get through today. Your brain is the most amazing organ in the universe. I love that one. Did you know it's about 3 pounds? Actually, for most people, a little bit less than 3 pounds. 60% of it is fat, which is why I'm not a fan of low-fat diets. You have 100 billion nerve cells, brain cells. And each brain cell, when you took science, they're like, an axon is connected to a dendrite. So it's sort of like a one-to-one connection. But that's not how it is in real life. In real life, you have up to 10,000 individual connections between cells. So when you actually do the math, you have more connections in your brain than there are stars in the universe. Think about that. So your brain controls everything, right? It controls how you think, how you feel, how you act, how you interact with others. Your brain
Depois a abertura de Jaiminho para Maga. Cruzamento, remate de primeira e... Que golaço! É um golo de placa em Oliveira de Azemais. Golo de campo. Play on, says the ref.
Morning, guys. Today, Les Brown shares with us his rule number 1 for top 10 rules for success, and that is a big one. It is believe in yourself. This one is everything for all of us. He reminds us that every day it's a selling job. It's a selling job on you selling yourself about what you can do. It is the daily grind of going into your thoughts, and every time there's a negative thought, replacing it with that positive thought about you. So you're in the business of selling yourself, selling the job that you can do on you, on your greater you. So no matter what you feel, yeah, you're going to have defeats. You're going to have these negative thoughts that come at you. You're going to have failures. But every day you have to continue to go back at it again. Stand up within yourself and say, I'm going to do it differently this time. I'm going to keep going until I get to where I want to be. It's that belief in yourself that activates the full power of our mind to be our great self. Have a great day, everyone.
I think there's 2 times the door to the subconscious mind opens up. When we wake up in the morning and we go to bed at night, and it's simple brain chemistry and simple physiology. We have a circadian rhythm. As soon as there's light, our body has been pretty much programmed that we begin to release serotonin and different chemicals that kind of wake us up. So our brain waves go from delta to theta to alpha to beta. And you kind of slide up this way, and then you're back to conscious awareness, local in space and time. When you go to bed at night, you go from beta to alpha to theta to delta, and you slide down. Now, if you're stressed, you can't stop thinking. You stay in beta. Your thinking actually is arousing the body because you're thinking about your problems. You can't slide down. Those 2 points in the day, when we wake up in the morning and go to bed at night, when alpha, or our analytical facilities are suppressed, we're in theta, we're in a hypnotic state. And the door between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind is wide open. And what separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind is the analytical mind. So as you suppress analytical facilities, you can program anybody to do anything.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need it. I need it for me, because I don't wake up every day and say, yes, let's go conquer the world. No, I wake up and I need that external motivation to match my internal motivation. When I see somebody who's doing amazing things, it makes me just want to play a bigger game. And so I hope that today's video makes you want to play a bigger game too, because your message matters, and let's get it out to the world. So today, let's open the door to our subconscious minds with Dr. Joe Dispenza. Enjoy.
What really happens for most people before they even reach for their cell phone, and by the way, the statistics are 86% of the people in the Western world. First thing they do is they reach for the cell phone and they connect to everything that's known.
And why is that a problem?
Well, I would never tell people how to think, but I would give them information to cause them to think. So the device is reminding them of things that are known. And every person, every object, everything, every place is mapped neurologically in our brain because we've experienced it. And then we have an emotion associated with our coworker, with our boss, with our ex, with our whoever. And so the moment we start responding, now we start feeling the same way. So now the environment is actually controlling the person's feelings and thoughts.
Yeah.
And anything that controls the way we feel and the way we think, we're victims to. So something's programming us to think and feel a certain way. There's nothing wrong with that. You should check your text, and do whatever you need to do. But the first thing in the morning, if the door between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind is open, why don't we program a new behavior? Why don't we rehearse a different way of being with our children, with our spouse, in our Zoom meetings, when we're alone, when we're in traffic? Is there a better way to evolve our experience? So if you're truly in the game of evolution, you're truly in the game, like one lifetime, one day. What am I working on today? Can I respond a different way to this person? Can I think this way instead of that way? Let me be conscious of my unconscious thoughts. Let me not be in a habit. Let me stay away from certain emotions. Let me practice feeling these emotions, see if I can maintain it. Now you're in the game. You're out of the bleachers and you're on the playing field. So it actually happens even before the cell phone. Because what most people do is they wake up and the first thing they do is the brain is a record of the past. They think of their problems. And those problems are just memories that are etched in the brain that are connected to certain people and objects at certain times and places. Yeah. The moment they think of their problems, they're thinking in the past. Then when they think about their problems and they feel unhappy, now their body's in the past. And if you believe that your thoughts have something to do with your destiny, wow. And then the emotion that's associated is now the body's in the past, because thoughts are the language of the brain and feelings are the language of the body. And how we think and how we feel creates our state of being. Now here's the problem. If you can't think greater than how you feel, and you believe that your thoughts have something to do with your destiny, and you understand that feelings and emotions are a record of the past, then you're thinking in the past, and your life will stay the same.
Rule number 2 is reframe your reality.
Being victimized by a circumstance in your life literally means that event, that circumstance, that person, that condition is actually causing you to feel emotionally and think in terms of memories equal to that circumstance. And that circumstance actually changes your state of being. So you're thinking the same way and you're feeling the same way, and your response to the environment is the same. We can guarantee that your life is going to stay the same because you're the same. And you ask that person, why are you unhappy? Why are you frustrated? Why are you sad? And they'll say this condition, this person is actually making me feel and think this way. Well, anything that makes us feel and think a certain way that we don't think we have any control over, for the most part, we're victims. So we're, as a species, become victimized by the conditions in our life. And it's the environment then that is controlling the way we feel and the way we think. So the idea is, if you can change the way you think and change the way you feel, could you begin to produce outcomes or effects in your life that cause you to believe that you're the creator of your life instead of the victim of your life? Which means then you would have to think greater than that circumstance, and you would have to feel differently in the presence of that circumstance. And if you truly could, and begin to create an outcome, the synchronicity, the serendipity, the coincidence that happens in your life, you're going to pay attention to what you did, and you're going to realize that on some level you had a hand in that, that you were a participant in that. Our interest is to teach people how to reverse that process. Every person, every circumstance, every condition, every place, every object that you own is mapped neurologically in your brain. So your brain is a record of the past. It's an artifact, a repository of everything you've learned intellectually or experienced. End products of experience are called emotions. The memories that we have in our life produces familiar emotions, or our response to anybody that we know in our life. There's a neurological network for your boss, for your coworker, for your ex. And for most people, their interaction in the environment is causing their environment to control their thinking, or their personal reality is controlling their personality. So our interest is if your personality is made of how you think, how you act, and how you feel, is it possible if I begin to change the way I think, change the way I act, and change the way I feel, should my life change? Because I'm changing. And so the interest for us then is to be able to meet the challenges and conditions in our life from a greater level of consciousness, and not be victimized.
It's like I'm living a dream, but it's how everyone feels. We all unite with one feel. So let's wave our hands. We can sing, we can dance. We are strong, hold on tight. From afar we unite. Ah yeah, ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. sing, we can dance, we are strong, hold on tight from afar, we unite.
Here we go.
Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah, this is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah, this is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah, this is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah, this is the time of our lives. What we see, destiny. Realize now we all know the greatest. Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah, this is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah, this is the time of our.
Referee. That's great effort. Ramsdale struggling. It's a fabulous goal. What an incredible goal. Pedro Gonçalves for Sporting saw Ramsdale off his line and he executed it fabulous.
Morning, guys. I want to share with you a personal story that will highlight how amazing this path is to infinite mind wealth that we're on together, and I'm openly sharing with you. And the story I want to share was a couple of weeks ago. I was having a moment where I was feeling really inspirational, really sort of proud of the things I'm doing, and just kind of breaking down my own walls of self-limiting beliefs and doing some of the things that I never thought I would do, especially in the year 2018. And then I actually got to a point where I realized I almost got angry at myself because I thought, what's been going on all these years that have prevented me from doing the things I'm doing now? And then I started sort of laughing inwardly to myself. I thought, it's all about getting out of our comfort zone. So then I thought, what else is there that I thought I couldn't do that I can do? And I challenge you to remember this too. What are we really stopping ourselves from doing? Have a great day, everyone. Morning, guys.
As I came to the United States, then I started to meet and learn from different people. So I thought I was the big fish in the small pond until I realized there was a big pond out there and I was a small fish. A lot of the people that have inspired each one of us have been the people who have gone on to change the industry. When I actually were being inspired, I knew their name, but I never met them. Now we get to meet with them, and now you can at least look at them and say how much they change your life. But I can tell you that the biggest inspiration for me, or biggest mentor for me, has been my own life. Life never stops teaching. It is us who stop learning. So just every experience we have, if we keep an open mind, we can learn from every single person we meet. Even that homeless person, if you can give him 5 minutes of your time, he will tell you about his life story, what got him into where he is, and maybe hopefully you won't make that mistake.
Need motivation?
What's the top 10 with Believe Nation?
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need them. Because I don't always wake up and feel motivated to go take on the day. And the thing that saves me, that helps me every day, is being around people who are thinking bigger, who are changing the world, and it gives me a little more inspiration to go after my mission. And so I hope this video helps you go after yours today too. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Naveen Jain, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Rule number 2.
Improve the lives of others.
If you can find anything that can help 1 billion people live a better life, you can create $100 billion company. But you don't wake up in the morning and say, I want to create $100 billion company. What do I do? Making money is simply a byproduct of doing things that improve other people's life. It's that simple. And if many of you who likes R-rated stuff, let me explain you in R-rated terms. Making money is like having an orgasm. If you focus on it, you're never going to get it, right? So enjoy the process.
Rule number 3 is don't give up.
Company is just a shell. What it does can change. So your ideas may or may not work. And every idea that does not work is simply a stepping stone to a different idea and a bigger idea, right? You look at Twitter. Twitter didn't start out as Twitter. They were a different company. The company did not do well. They say, look, guys, current investors, we can return your money, or we are going to pivot into doing this microblogging service. And some investors stayed with them and some said, give us our money back. But the point was they pivoted and they created a different company. And in fact, you could argue that almost every successful company has gone through a near-death experience, right? Whether you look at Facebook, you look at Oracle, every one of them.
I agree with you.
Right.
Yeah.
So point is, that's the time to pivot rather than give up. So the idea is you said that path does not work and I'm going to go with a different path that may work. And your idea is to keep the same purpose alive. So you never give up on your purpose. You give up on the execution of that purpose and you move on to the next thing.
Rule number 4 is ask the right questions.
Asking the right questions allows you to focus on the problem you're going to be solving. Every time you go to an expert, the question they always ask, how do we do that? And a moonshot thinker like you should be always asking, why are we doing it? So the experts think about how to do it, moonshot thinkers come about why to do it. Most innovations fail because they end up solving the symptom of the problem rather than solving the root cause. And sometimes solving the symptom may give you a short-time success until someone comes and solves the root cause, and then you're completely out of business. And let me give you a couple of examples of how that happens. Now, for example, everyone knows the lack of fresh water is one of the biggest problems facing humanity. Now, if you were an entrepreneur and thinking that I want to go out and solve the problem of fresh water, and you come up with a nano filter that is able to actually take a dirty water or desalinized water and start to think about how do we get the fresh water out, and you really focus on solving that problem. And one of you moonshot thinker asked the question and saying, wait a second, why do we have the shortage of fresh water? And suddenly you will realize the reason we have a shortage of fresh water is because majority of the water is being used for agriculture. And then you say, oh, so agriculture is really the root cause here. And what if we can build hydroponic agriculture, aquaponic agriculture, aeroponic agriculture, and now you think you have actually found the root cause and you really focused on solving the agriculture problem. Until another moonshot thinker asked the same question, why do we have all this agriculture? And soon you will realize, once you ask the question, where does all this agriculture going, you will realize that majority of agriculture is there to feed the cattle. You now need to figure out how do we solve the problem of raising the cattle. And obviously we are raising these cattle to feed people the meat. I'm not suggesting that now your job is to make everybody a vegetarian. But your job is to say, how do we feed people the meat they want to eat without having to raise the cattle? So what if we do what the nature does, take a stem cell of a cow and only create the muscle tissues, because that's all people eat. They're not eating the eyes, they're not eating the ears, they're not eating a whole bunch of other things that when you raise the cattle, you have to have. What if you can simply take the same stem cell and only create the muscle tissues? And now once you do that, You are able to now have plenty of agriculture for humanity. So when someone says, how are we going to live on a planet when the population goes from 9 billion to 20 billion? You can say, you know what? Simply solving the problem of cattle allows you to feed twice as many people. Now you think you have actually solved the real problem. Until another moonshot thinker comes about and say, wait a sec. What if we can simply have a vegetarian meat? That means a food that's made out of plant but tastes exactly like meat. And now once you do that, now you have actually gotten rid of even the idea of having a biofactories that create the muscle tissues. And you can see these things are not some dream someone has. These are the problems that are being solved right now by entrepreneurs. So there are companies today that are actually taking the stem cell and creating muscle tissues, and their entrepreneurs are going beyond and actually creating the meat that is made out of the plant protein. And both these ideas are actually the ideas that will free up the agriculture for twice as many people, and will free up the fresh water for the humanity. So if you want to solve problems like that, you have to always ask yourself, what is the root cause of that problem rather than the symptom that you currently see? Once you identify the pain point you have, then you need to understand what is the root cause of that pain and solve that root cause, not just on the surface what the symptom is. Big problems will push the humanity forward. The bigger the problem, bigger the opportunities, and the more people you're helping, bigger the enterprise you'll be creating.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
Rule number 5 is develop curiosity. How
as we always begin, as everything begins. Through the power of our minds, controlling our breathing. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, if you're here in this moment, in the present, using your gift, the greatest gift you have, the now. I love you. I love you because we are all one. We can all stay in the present and be our true presence. Be the human being we were all born to be. Our best today, this gym period, is the way we can do our best in everything and anything, including remaining deeply grateful and loving and kind to each other, helping each other learn, grow, helping each other win together. There's no greater joy than that. There's no greater happiness than that. That's the ultimate truth. You can feel it right now. You were born to win, to be happy, to be peaceful, to simply be your true great self. to enjoy fully this moment right now. And if you do that over and over and over and over and over again, you will always win wherever you go, no matter what.